So imagine when Haven first had its bull run, and you bought this quite late. First of all, we had this sideways, and you kept thinking, "Oh, it's just consolidation; it'll go up again. I'll hodl." And we didn't. We had a really nasty pullback. And the second time it came back, you think, "Oh yeah, this is it. This time, Haven's on its way, new highs, everything's going to be fine." And we got back to this kind of zone, and it went all the way down again. And so now, as soon as it gets anywhere close, people who bought up here, who've been in, let's face it, quite a lot of pain in Haven, as soon as they get back here, they're going to go, "Oh, thank God, I'm going to get out and get my money back." And this is unfortunately, when you have these sharp pullbacks, and this is why when you come back to previous highs, even though you're in a really strong trend, you'll see sellers. People are they've ridden it out, they didn't want to, and they go, "Oh, thank God, I just want my money back." I think that's what we're seeing here. Third touches are always false breakouts. This is also, if we go to our weekly, we are got some, with these fib levels, even though you come back to them, there's strong support and resistance. You can see weekly closes high here. So 18,000 is just one of those levels here, and we've reversed at it. If we take a look at the fib levels, because what we want to know is this just a pullback? The key thing we want to know in Haven is this just a 50% pullback, and we're going to continue higher again in a nice big kind of A, B, C? Or is this in fact a triangle? So we're going A, B, C, D, and we're going to go all the way down with an E before we launch again. Well, we could do it the simple way and say, we know this 200 moving average, which is a very strong determinant of the trend in Haven, could decide this is lows here, highs here. It's been a really good decider of the trend. But I also think that if we measure these swings, this will help us with if we keep going where we go. So if we measure from this high to this low and look at this, this was 61, this swing was 61.8 of this bigger swing. So if we repeat the pattern, we'll measure from this high to this low in Haven, here 61.8. So it's going to be a little bit lower than actually where this 200 moving average is, where our support is, and that would still fulfill the A, B, C, D, E thing, because each one of these swings would be 61.8 of the first one. So 12,950, I think, is pretty strong support. Below there, I would be like, yeah, this isn't, bigger things going on. I'm looking for this level to hold as support, first off. The other thing we could say is, another way to do this, let's take them off. Let's get that off. So we could say, well, because the patterns just tend to repeat, don't they? So in this rally, we pulled back to 886 of this rally here. So if we do the same again, 886 would be the second place where the support is, and where we'd likely meet this trend line, 10,800. Let's hope we don't come there. So I think although the 200 looks pretty good, you can see how we keep overshooting it. If we overshoot it here, then yeah, 13,000 is more likely where the support's going to come for Haven. We'll go back to Bitcoin now. So remember, Ripple, I think, would be, believe it or not, one of my favorites to recycle some funds into. This is a massive dump. These little corrections were 500, but at some point, you'll do 5 waves up, and then you'll need to see a bigger correction. And I think that this is what we're seeing here. But remember, each time we've come back to this 20 moving average and found support. So let's go to the hourly. I would say normally from a 2.618, I would look at a 1.618, back to the 1.618, 21,360. So in the 21s. Let's hide this for a second. And Let's hide these for projections for a second as well. Okay, and we'll just look at this swing from the lows. So just a swing, because if this is a big fat wave 3, we'd really like a 38.2. And if we draw that 38, so this is our 38.2 is here as well, 21,359. Now to get there we have to break the 236 fib, and that's our first bounce support. So that's at 22,267. So we've got two support levels looking back here in Bitcoin, 22,267 and then 21,360. Bitcoin almost always likes to retest the highs. If it was going to bounce and do that, 22,267 is the most likely spot for me where it would do that from. So if you're watching low time frame, yeah, here or pretty close to here, I think we could see a bounce, and then the retest is the test. I think that this has just got a little bit overdone. This is not, I'm not saying this should not be the high in Bitcoin. This should not be. Let's look at on our daily candles though. Whenever you have a big strong green, the normal thing that's following it, isn't it? Even in an uptrend, you have a big strong candle, sideways consolidation for a few days, and you carry on. You know, that's just the way it goes. Here, big strong green, sideways consolidation, and you carry on. So here in Bitcoin, you know, for us to keep going, especially after such a big spike, we're looking for us to do some sideways back and fill before we either carry on or we break down. But at the moment we haven't even broken from this swing the 236 fib, so 22,279 and then 21,369. So if you're looking at where might you be able to buy a pullback, I would say that would be the first level, and the 50%, 20,633. I would be quite shocked if it came back more than that. Remember, final legs are usually 5 waves. So what we're looking at, this is, you know, even if we just say this is 1, 2, 3, I think we still got one more push high. So 24,000 is the next we're looking to buy on pullbacks. If you haven't got any at this point, I promise it will give you a pullback entry. We just kind of need to wait for it. Don't chase it. Okay, bye everyone.